Now we'll make the next element of our catalogue cover, the G letter. We'll create it out of a circle and a rectangle. Then we'll trim it with hoops to make it look like a globe. Click on this little page with a plus on it to add a second page. Draw a proportional circle. Now draw a rectangle inside this circle. Lock the corner proportions lock and change the corner bend value to 20 mm. Let's make it a little bigger. Change it to 40 mm. Now press enter. Switch to white cursor, select both figures, access the Align and Distribute options, and align both objects vertically and horizontally. Look at the icons and not the names. I'm also reading these options backwards. It's just easier this way. Change the colour of both figures to green. Now combine both figures together. Go to Arrange menu and click on Combine. Combining merges the selected figures together and deletes the overlapping part. Draw a rectangle right here. Now correct its position so it would form the G's leg. Make sure that it doesn't go outside the left of the figure. When the rectangle is ready, select it and press the plus key on the numeric keypad. We can also duplicate the figure by copying and pasting options from the Edit menu. So now we have two rectangles. If we move this rectangle, we'll see that there's another one underneath it. Press Ctrl Z. Click on the bottom centre node and drag it up. Now make the rectangle longer. Thanks to changing the height of the rectangle like this, both objects are right next to each other. Convert the selected rectangle to curves. Switch to Shape tool, then move the top right node up. Now we'll use this path to trim the bottom green figure. Switch to white cursor and select the rectangle figure. Hold Shift and select the green hoop figure. Now click the trim icon. We don't need this figure anymore, so select it and delete it. Select both figures and weld them. Press F3. Press F2 and select the area to zoom. Select the ellipse tool and draw a circle right here. We'll use this circle to trim the green G figure. Change the circle outline width to 2 mm. Let's set it to 4. Select both figures by drawing the selection box over them. We can also just select the hoop, hold Shift and select the green figure. Click on the trim icon. As you can see, the figure was trimmed with the whole circle. So we can't trim our figure with this object because it's still a circle, not a hoop. Switch to wireframe view. We need to convert this circle's outline into a figure. Go to Arrange menu and click on Convert Outline to Object. Now a circle was converted to a hoop. Switch back to normal view. Hold Shift, select the green figure and click on the trim icon. Now we can use the same figure to cut the line at the bottom of the G. Move it down and click on the trim icon. But we need a bigger circle to make the centre cut. We can of course scale the figure. As you can see, each time we scale it, the distance between the inside and the outside path is getting bigger. So scaling the figure is not an option. When we scale the figure disproportionately, it's even worse. The change in the hoop width is even bigger. Let's draw several circles. Draw one circle at the top, one at the bottom at the centre. Change the position of each circle if you want. Now select all figures. We don't want to have the G figure selected. Hold Shift and click on the green figure to deselect it. Now only the circles are selected. Go to the Pen Tool icon menu and click on Outline Pen. Change the width of the outline to 4 mm and click OK. We're working with millimeters, but if you want we can also use other units. Select all figures and click on the trim icon. All circles trim the green figure simultaneously. As you can see, something is wrong. Press Ctrl Z. What went wrong? Hold Shift and select all circles. Switch to wireframe view. Now we can clearly see what's wrong. We haven't converted the circles to hoops. Go to Arrange menu and click on Convert. Switch back to normal view. Now we can trim our figure and it will look like the original. Select all figures and click on the trim icon. Now we can move these hoops to one side. We've just made another element of the catalogue cover. Switch to page 1. Select the figure. Go to the Pen Tool icon menu and click on No Outline. Now we can copy this figure and move it outside the page. All objects outside the page are available on all pages. Switch to page 1. Now just move the figure to the page, downscale it and position it. Now we create the rest of the text. Switch to Text tool and click on an empty space and type Griffin. Select the text to make it bold. Move the text right here, next to the green figure. Select F2 and select the area you want to zoom. Downscale the green figure a little. Let's make the text and the green figure the same height. Click on the Proportions lock to activate it. Change the height of the figure to 30 mm and press Enter. Now select the text. Change its height to 30 mm and press Enter. Select the text, hold Shift and select the green figure. Change the colour of both objects to green. Now select the Align and Distribute icon. You can also use the shortcut Ctrl and Shift and A to activate this palette. Click on the Align Bottom icon and close the palette. Go to Arrange menu and click on Group. Now that the objects are grouped together, we can easily downscale them. If we want to select only one part of the group, we hold Ctrl and click on the element we want to select. Now we can change the colour of this element. Select the letters and click on the colour swatch with the right mouse button. This will change the colour of the text outline. Press Shift and F4. Now we'll create a straight line. Select Two-Point Line tool, hold Ctrl and draw a straight line. Select the line, click on the blue colour with the right mouse button to change the line's outline colour. You can change the width of the outline from right here on the property bar. Another way to do this is just to click on the Outline Pen icon. We change all outline properties in this window. Now we'll create the last part of the text. Switch to Text tool. Click once on an empty space and write Travel Agency. Select the text and change its outline colour. Click on the dark blue colour with the right mouse button. Now position the text under the line. Hold Shift and select the line and the logo group. Click on the Align and Distribute icon and align all selected objects to the left. Press Shift and F4 to fit the page onto the whole screen now. Our project is almost ready. We're missing just one more element. On this letter right here, we have a nice embossed effect. We'll now learn how to make such an effect and apply it to our text. Press Shift and F4. The yellow text is placed on the blue figure's path. This blue figure is almost as big as the page. It serves as a path for the yellow text. As we said before, when we click once, we select both the path and the text. If we now downscale the selection, we downscale both objects. When we click for a second time, we select only one of these objects. In our case, we've selected the blue figure. We can now modify it, change its colour, or downscale it. As you can see, the text also changed its position. It wasn't scaled, it's just fitted to the new size of the path it's been placed on. Press Ctrl Z to undo the changes. So the first click selects both objects and the second click selects a specific figure. When we talked about this before, we said that this knowledge will come in handy later. We'll now use it. Now select separate text from the blue figure. Go to Arrange menu. As you can see, the Break Curve Apart option isn't active. You need to select the figures correctly. Click once on the figure to select the text and the path. Go to Arrange menu now. The Break Curve Apart option is active. So when only one part is selected, the Break Curve Apart option is not active. As you can see, the text on the path options also disappeared. When we click only once, the text on the path options will reappear on the property bar. So let's do this again. Click on the side to deselect. Click on the blue figure, go to Arrange menu and click on Break Text Apart. Now the figure and the text are separate and we can't edit the text anymore. The text on the path tools now disappeared for good. So now the text is no longer placed on the path and we can't edit it separately. Click on the fifth icon from the bottom and select the Extrude tool. Click on the text, hold the mouse button, move your cursor to the left and release the mouse button. Let's set an outline for a text to see the effect. Click on the black with the right mouse button. Now we can clearly see what we've just done. Click on the None icon with the right mouse button to delete the outline. The property bar is now filled with options and icons for the Extrude tool. Of course, this is no longer a text. The Extrude tool automatically converted it to curves. If we want to still have the text, we'd have to duplicate it before using the Extrude tool. Click on this little light bulb icon right here. Here we can choose where the light for the effect is placed. Now we can see the results immediately on our figure. We can add another light bulb. Well, to gain the best effects, we need to just experiment with this option. Press F2 and zoom in. Now we can see the effect better. Switch back to Extrude tool. So we set two lights in the top left and bottom right corners of this grid. Well, let's deactivate the second light. Now we'll talk about the bevel icon. Click on it and activate the Use Bevel option. The bevel effect was applied to our text. Let's change the bevel intensity to 0.5mm. Press Enter. If the bevel is too big, bigger than the object, it won't have enough space to be shown in the figure. Let's now talk about the second option called Show Bevel Only. Activate this option. As you can see, the extrude effect disappeared and now there's only the bevel effect. Switch to lighting again. Play with the light placement. As you can see, the placement of the light source can change the look of the bevel effect. Let's add another light source so we can just experiment and search for the best effect. So we've made the last element by using the extrude tool and its options, bevel and lighting effects. Press Shift and F4. We're not talking about the extrude tool in detail. The best way to learn is to just play with it and experiment. We'll talk about it more later on in the other parts of the course. Let's call this tool and its elements Readies. Ready effects which we can use in our project. So the tourist catalogue is now ready. We need to save this project now. We'll need it later on when we'll be talking about printing, making bleeds and creating a PDF file.